the owner of Leicester City. Gordon, I mean, it's like a punch in the stomach for football, given what he's done with what, let's be honest, is a provincial football club.
Yeah, and I think his name says a bit about him, because I think I was reading this morning that that's not his right name. He was given that name by the King of Thailand for his charity work. I think it's like the generous one, or the so it says, his name says something, even though we can't pronounce it, most of us, that it says something about him, that he'd already been in that position earlier, that he helped everybody. Now, normally...
And it puts other things in life into perspective. And then you look at this football club, and you look at what the guy... For the reasons of his own, he hasn't done it because he's a master.
Of course not,
right?
no.
He bought a Premier League football club because of what goes with it. And the benefits of a Premier League football club does mean that you are able to do certain things, and that is have great influence. And some people don't use their influence in a positive fashion. I always did at Crystal Palace. I know most football club chairman, Bill Kenwright, will do it. You'll use your influence in a positive fashion. And obviously we're clearly hearing that this man did the same. But, you know, I've kind of watched the media coverage and gotten sadder and sadder about the society that we live in, where I have to listen to a pop star talk about somebody that he doesn't know because he supports the football team that this guy owned. And there comes a point where it becomes a little bit unedifying. I know we've got to pay respect, and there's no one that wants to pay more respect than me, somebody that's done what he's done in life, given what he's given, dragged this football club up by its bootstraps to a point where it's achieved things that it couldn't have achieved elsewhere without his inputs. But there is a point where you say, right, okay, I don't think there's a need for news channels to be looking at black boxes and filming outside stadium.
We don't know him that well, but we're still speaking about him tonight.
Sure, but there's ways and ways, Gordon.
There's ways to do it.
And, you know, Gary Neville got attacked on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that, because he didn't want to say anything publicly.
A Twitter warrior, it was a woman in this case, or at least that's what her handle suggested, came out and said, well, nothing to say about this tragedy that's befallen. And Gary said, I think she said, I've got no respect.
Yeah, I saw that.
He said, I hope you'd respect my ability to feel for someone suffering and having to express myself on Twitter. You're right, Gordon. We are, to a small extent, part of the media circus, but I think we're paying respect. And there's ways of doing it.
And there's a different way of doing it.
And also, we're here to report what's going on in the world of football, and it is quite obviously the biggest and by desperately the saddest story of the weekend. And we will talk. In fact, Jeff Peters, who came on here last evening, he's our East Midlands correspondent, he's a Midlands correspondent, and he's a lifelong Leicester City fan. I thought he did very well, very bravely to come on here and talk last night when I could tell he personally was in bits. He's going to join us again. He's had 24 hours to try and digest what all of this means, but also he'll be telling us what's happening there at the club today and in the city of Leicester. You're listening to Kick Off. I'm Danny Kelly. Simon Gordon Strachan, who's not to be taking the mickey out of, according to Simon's mum, who turns out is all-powerful still, is with me here on Talk Sport.
The big red building on Golders Green Road.
The seat specialist. Sizes from 32 to 70-inch chest.
The big red building on Golders Green Road.
No one would have believed.
Jeff Wayne's musical version of The War of the Worlds returns to arenas November and December.
My life will be forever mortal.
Conducted by Jeff Wayne, featuring Jason Donovan, Carrie Hope Fletcher, Adam Garcia, Newton Faulkner, Nathan James, Anna-Marie Wayne, and Liam Neeson in 3D holography. Book now. livenation.co.uk.
When you need to nail your next perfect profile picture, or binge every box set ever boxed, stream every hit since music began,
then you need the latest generation of iPhone on Vodafone. Get it now with 100 gig of data on our best ever 4G network. The future's exciting. Ready? Vodafone. 100 gig data on selected plans. Terms and exclusions apply. Visit vodafone.co.uk/100GB data.
Oh, what a save!
Here at Adrian Flux, the majority of our customers pay less than £500 for their van insurance. So, why not try us today and get your hands on a great deal? Call 08000 856 356 to see how much you could save.
Oh, another fantastic
fantastic save from Adrian Flux.
Call 0856 356. Visit adrianflux.co.uk or search Flux Fans. Authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority.
Carabao Cup Review on TalkSport with Carabao Energy Drink. Listen to the Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast this Thursday morning from 6 and get outspoken opinion and expert analysis of all the latest Carabao Cup action.
Here he's curled it brilliantly into the top corner.
The fixtures, the feuds and the fans.
They are completely in control of this game.
Be a part of the most passionate post-match punditry on UK radio.
Oh my word!
The Carabao Cup Review on TalkSport with Carabao. The energy drink invented by a Thai rock star that's named after a water buffalo. TalkSport Traffic and Travel with Checkertrade.com. Build your business with Checkertrade.com from just $69.99 a month plus VAT. Visit Checkertrade.com/radio to find out more.
Checkertrade.com. On the M6 heading north, junctions 6 to 7, the inside lane is closed with delays because of an accident. M6 south, junctions 21A to 21, the outside lane has now reopened following an accident, but traffic remains very slow. Here the A40 between Astorl and Woodford, that is closed with queuing traffic because of an accident. M40 south, junction 4 to junction 2, the inside lane is closed with delays. A lorry is having a tyre changed. And at M11 in Essex south from junction 9 with an inside lane blockage because of an accident. I'm Stuart Watt.
Talk Sport. Wiry, thin and whip it quick.
Hang on, there's a streaker on the pitch.
Talk Sport. Straightforward, straight talking and straight to the point.
And it's absolutely brilliant!
Kick off on Talk Sport.
I have very much tried to learn how to pronounce his name correctly in the last few days. Vishai Siwatana, as we know, has passed away in that horrible helicopter crash. I did text him today just to thank him. Jeff Peters, our Midlands correspondent and Leicester City lifelong supporter, came on here at the moment the news was breaking of the death and very bravely told us about the way it was affecting him and the wider community in Leicester. And he joins us again now 24 hours later. Hello, Danny. Coming on again, a little bit of time to digest what's going on and to tell us what's happening around the stadium and in the city. Let's start with that. Physically, I can see on the screens in front of me an ocean of tributes, flowers, at the King Power.
Yeah, I mean, I've been there obviously for the last couple of days and seen the tributes grow from just a handful to all day today. Club with some tributes by teams from all over this country and in Spain, Italy, and it does bring people together when things like this happen. I think every club, I briefly signed, caught the end, and I'm sure that outstanding businessman, because you don't get that far in business unless you are very good at the top of your game, but human being as well. And I think that is the thing that has poured out over the past few days.
And what about the wider? We spoke to one of your colleagues from the Leicester Mercury. What about the town, the city itself? I should say city, of course, these days. What about the city itself? Are people coming to terms with what's happened?
The people I spoke to today, everyone is still a bit bemused and baffled and can't really get their heads around it, because it is just a tragedy beyond belief that you don't. And listen, tragedies happen every day all around the world, but this was our club, our own owner and chairman, our city. He was part of our family, so it feels so very close and it touches us very, very deeply. So people are still trying to come to terms with it, but like with any death, whether it's in your own family or in a wider football family, time is a healer, and everybody just needs a bit of time, and I think the players will need time. We saw them today. They came out, they wanted to see the tributes, they walked around, the fans were asked around the barriers to take a couple of steps back. Everybody did it, no problem. The players came and stood round and they wanted to soak up the moment. It was all very quiet, and then suddenly a round of applause broke out, the players and the supporters all together. It went quiet again, and the players left, and it was extremely respectful and it was extremely touching, as was the members of the family, the son of Vishai Ayawat, and it was a real special moment. You don't want to talk about special moments on the pitch and winning Premier League, etc., etc. You don't want to talk about these kind of things as special moments, but it was very, very touching.
And of course, when Matthew Harding died in horribly similar circumstances, when he was the owner and saviour of Chelsea, we didn't have social media as we have now, so the players have been more easily able to express themselves, Jeff. And I was particularly taken, I read it in full here on TalkSport last night, Kasper Schmeichel's outpouring of respect and love for the chairman, even allowing for the heightened emotionality of the moment, was quite extraordinary.
It was. He was still there on Saturday evening because it happened just over an hour after the game, and he was outside. He'd heard there was been an incident. He came outside, and so he was there. He, like me, saw the flames rising awfully into the night sky, not really knowing quite what was happening. Very affected. I think he stayed at the ground till about (1:30 in the morning. He wanted to know what was going on. He and most of the players, all of the players, very close to the owners, as close as owners and players can.
If you can either grind it out on the ground that way, or you can do what the Patriots do and hook up to all their slot receivers and get 3 yards and yak on every play. Yards after catch for those keeping track at home.
Not throwing up.
Or throwing up, I don't know. Yak.
How did you feel about Trubisky's performance, given the weather and the conditions? He wasn't very accurate, but...
Can I address that after a break? Because I got too many thoughts. I got to stay on the Bears. We're going to get to Packers. We're going to take your calls, 815...
Proposal to remove blasphemy as an offence from the Constitution, with 64.85% voting yes. Mr Higgins, the first incumbent in 50 years to face the challenge in his bid for a second term, won with 822,566 votes. And thousands of people have taken to the streets of Rome to protest at the Italian capital's run-down state. Demonstrators gathered outside the City Hall to denounce Mayor Virginia Raggi for failing to tackle issues including uncollected rubbish and potholed roads. Ms Raggi took control of Rome in 2016 for the Five Star Movement government earlier this year. Her popularity has fallen after failing to address the indebted city's issues.
TRE Talk Radio Europe.
Spain today. Now, a type of dolphin believed to be extinct in the Mediterranean has been seen several times off the Costa del Sol in recent months, according to the marine protection charity Ocean Sea. The common or harbour porpoise is one of the smallest mammals found in the sea, and is that stays close to the coast. It has long been thought to have been wiped out in southern Europe, but the sightings have shown that it is alive and well, and that habitats continue to survive in the Alboran Sea between Almeria and Morocco. Ocean Seas
faça mudança que está causando
better than anyone else. As words were, well, you know, you his heart.
The new, well, his son who has to move forward, and Claude Puel, they have to move the football forward. Unfortunately, and always we have to say this when it's happened, life and indeed goes on. The immediate call off, I think, one first.
Yeah, they've postponed Italy that, but they're human beings. And this was somebody who was their boss, but was also, to a number of them, a close friend as well, and close confidant. And I cannot see. I would be so amazed if that game goes ahead. But yes, it does have to go on. The next fixture is a home fixture against Burnley. It's Remembrance Weekend, which is always incredibly special at Leicester. They've had very close association with it. I think they were the first team to wear poppies on the shirts, and they used to have a helicopter delivering the match ball from a member of the armed services. So with the added poignancy of the first home game since the tragedy that happened, that against Burnley a week on Saturday, is going to be a real solemn occasion. But listen, Iwat, the son, the vice chairman, he knows how much he's loved and his dad is loved, and he will have seen that today with all the tributes, and I'm sure he will feel that warmth on that day.
Listen, Jeff, thank you again, and thank you for all the times that you've been on TalkSport in the last 48 hours or so. Thank you very, very much indeed. Jeff Peters there, who supports Leicester, but is also our Midlands football correspondent. And we should make a point as well of mentioning that, of course, Vichai was not alone in that helicopter. Four other people lost their lives. Two of them crack helicopter pilots, which probably tells me it's something technical, though I'm not in a position to start making judges about that. Unlike many journalists who already decided they know what's happened. And, of course, two members of Vichai's staff as well. So our respect goes. Of course, one of those people is more famous and all the rest of it. But there were 5 people in that helicopter, and we have to remember all of them as well here on Kickoff on TalkSport. Where next up, we'll be getting back to the business of football and looking ahead to tonight's game at Wembley between Spurs and Manchester City.
Jim White on TalkSport with Wix. Let's do it right. Rugged analysis, considered opinion, measured reaction.
You're all right. It's Jim White.
Get first pick of the litter on all the big breaking stories shaking the sports world to its core. You're all right. I'm Jim White. The best to you each morning.
Jim White, tomorrow morning from 10 on TalkSport with Wix. Let's do it right.
Did you know that the elevators in the Shanghai Tower are the world's fastest? Or that Bruce Lee won the 1958 Hong Kong Cha-Cha Championship? And that you'll find more bicycles in Beijing than in Amsterdam. But here's the most amazing thing to know. With Lufthansa's attractive fares, you can fly to Asia from £389. Book by November 18th for travel starting from November 15th. Contact your travel agent or visit lufthansa.com. Conditions apply.
Say yes to the world. Lufthansa.
So, kids, what we're going to do today then? Library, park, could go shopping, Nan's house? Kids? Kids?
Bored this autumn? Get a last-minute Haven holiday from £99 with the Sun Holiday Shop. You'd be conkers not to. Visit thesun.co.uk/holiday shop. T's and C's apply.
I won the jackpot!
Congratulations. But before you collect your winnings, please run a marathon. On your hands. Dressed as a clown.
At Play Ojo, the online casino, we don't make it difficult for you to access your winnings. Anything you win with us is paid in cash, straight away, with no wagering requirements and no restrictions, giving you full control over your money. Visit playojo.com, the fair casino. Play Ojo. Please play responsibly.
So today, our most popular dishes are avocado on toast, or you can have avocado with chili on toast, or there's the avocado with chorizo on toast, or you might like the avocado on toast with peppers, or there's avocado on toast with salmon, or you could try out avocado on toast with lemon.
And for those that don't follow the herd,
the new Jaguar I-Pace, our award-winning all-electric vehicle. Jaguar, a breed apart.
Hello, I'm Andy Goldstein.
And I'm Jason Cundy.
And what a huge show me and the Fun Boy have got live on TalkSport tonight from 10 p.m. Literally could not be a bigger phone-in.
As well as looking back at all of the massive games this weekend, of course, we'll be taking your calls straight after Spurs and Manchester City and White Hart Lane.
No, I haven't moved in yet, Jay.
MK Dons.
No, begins with a W, it's got an arch.
McDonald's.
No, the other one.
Wembley.
Perfect.
The Sports Bar, tonight from 10 on TalkSport.
God, I could do with a Big Mac of this.
Rapid fire football, decisive explosive analysis.
Header into the back of the net.
Kick off on TalkSport.
Yeah, let's look ahead to tonight's Premier League action now with
With the Sport Pass, watch Tottenham versus Man City tonight for a one-off payment of just $7.99. Search Now TV, 18+, terms apply, see nowtv.com.
Yeah, why don't we get back to Wembley and get a preview of tonight's game. Here's Ian Hams.
Both sides are warming up on the pitch, which is not the greatest Wembley pitch you'll ever see. It's got the scars from yesterday's NFL game. It's got the badge in the centre circle. An NFL
in
pitch,
the Champions League, Bernardo Silva comes in for him. Sergio Aguero unexpectedly returns. He scored 10 career goals against Tottenham and replaces Gabriel Jesus up front. Aguero is one short of 150 Premier League goals, while 23 becomes the fifth youngest player ever to reach 200 Premier League.
But our listeners may not know it's not
pitch
as wide as a football pitch, so some 10-15 yards, certainly towards this near touchline, completely scarred
in
from yesterday.
Not the best condition after that NFL game in with the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Jacksonville Jaguars yesterday. There's brown patches all over it. Probably won't suit Manchester City, Kev, who like to play a quick passing game. I mean, it's awful. Very brown, rutted patches all over it.
Yeah, obviously, Tottenham were meant to be in their stadium long, so I guess it can't be helped. And in many ways, it's Tottenham's fault for not getting everything sorted and being in their new stadium already. And Manchester move, getting it wide, moving it quickly. And in some places on this Wembley pitch, it literally just looks like rolled mud. And it looks flat, most certainly.
Well, so you surprised that Eric is severely injured because he is on the bench?
Yeah, that is a surprise. And of Sissoko, that's for sure. So I'd like to know what the Poch's thinking is behind that. Lamella's apparently been doing really well in recent weeks, coming off the bench in the courses, etc. He perhaps deserves a start, but the omission of Eriksen, that's a strange one for me. I'm not sure what's for.
More understandable that perhaps City decided not to start with De Bruyne. He played in the Champions League because he's got very little football this season, but of course they can bring back Sergio Aguero and Bernardo Silva. Raheem Sterling, not 24 until December. 200 Premier League appearances. As I mentioned, he's the fifth young